G'day fellas, welcome commanders. Today we are doing a forbidden strategy. You might be wondering why it's forbidden, you might be wondering what it is. Well, we will answer both of those questions shortly because our opponents in the last game, I was watching them because, well, normally you join a lobby, you kind of chill out for a bit and then you jump in and play, and I saw that they were doing basically the same thing. So I said, look, if they're going to be doing it, if that's how we're playing, we're just going to do it. Now, you might be wondering, okay, what is the strategy? The strategy is rainbow constructors. That's what we're doing today. How does it work? Well, it's quite simple, really. Have you ever seen a building from an ally and then, like, you've assisted building it? Well, it's that same sort of concept. You're using your own metal and your own energy to help build my units. Except, I'm also going to make your constructor, and I'm going to build your constructor, and I'm going to assign that constructor to help me, and you're just not going to touch it. That's essentially how this works. And the reason why it's very much not liked at the top level, well, there's actually a setting that you can use right here, disable ally, assist ally constructor, because of this very strategy. So it's because of the fact that they're doing it, the fact that this is turned off, that I'm going to show you why it should be turned off in most games that you play, because it's going to get a little bit silly. And I apologize in advance for any damage that this may potentially do to the meta, just to show you, because it's kind of crazy. Now, I suspect they're probably going to be doing it, so it's not going to be as impactful as, say, if you were playing against somebody that wasn't doing it. So we're just going to start by making 8 constructors. That's the first thing that we're doing. We're making a whole bunch of constructors. We're going to be adding in some wind behind it, but the idea is that we're going to be sharing out these constructors. Let's make sure that we do these properly. We also might just put a wind or a solar in here. So we're going to grab this first constructor. So this first constructor will stay ours. We probably shouldn't have boosted that. That was a mistake. Excuse me. So this first constructor will stay ours, and every subsequent constructor after this is going to assist this constructor. That's essentially it. That's the way that we're going to be doing it. And then from there, that constructor is going to be doing everything. So let's get him. We'll grab him down here. We're also going to grab this Mex. Can Tech grab this Mex, please? Like that. That's how we want to do it. So now, the trouble is we need to grab this Mex. Maybe we make one more as well, just so that we can always trade. Yeah, you know what? We can actually give that back. We can give that to someone else after it's finished doing this. So first up, so this is going to be our one. So we don't want to get rid of this. So we're just going to tell it, hey, we want you to do this. Have we got leaks going on? Why do I hear explosions? Always a little bit scary. Okay, so everybody else is going to, let's do a factory guard. We're going to tell them all to come out here. Commander, you're going to assist, so we're going to give this one over to Keanu Wibbs. Let's start off. Yeah, we'll start off with Keanu Wibbs, and this one is now going to go to Zine Oz. Okay, so we've got these all coming out. Next up, you're going to be guarding Look. So we've got this one here. Oh, we need to make sure that we're boosting. Always be boosting. We want to make sure that we don't go too crazy. And then this one is now going to go into Stiff Bickies. All right, Stiff Bickies, do us proud, my brother. Okay, so all of the constructors are now starting to come out. This one is going to be Delta Storm. And then, can I have this Max, please? I think I've already asked for it, so I don't think he wants to give it to us. And then that's the Joker, Mr. Darkstar. Okay, and now we're just going to go build our T2. So let's go build it down here. So we're having a little bit of trouble here. All right. Come on, guys.
Unit received.
Commander's here as well. Do we just make one more constructor just that we've got at the back ready to go and do his thing? So as you can see, we're now building up this lab. We're at 4 minutes here, which is kind of early, but it's nothing too crazy. And now that we've got these rainbow constructors helping us, we're going to be able to just pump units like crazy. So we'll start off with, let's say, 10 for the moment. So this guy, we're going to give him a control group as well, just so that we can track him. And we're also going to add in a couple of construction turrets. We might even do that with our commander here, just so that we can spend our resources, because obviously we need to spend our resources. It's kind of important for us to do that. And then after this constructor is done with that, we then want to guard this lab. So we want all of these guys to help us. Okay, so we're doing decent on resources. Now, this is Season 3, so you can see that we've got quite a bit of build power that's in here already.
Your team reached.
I want to also get an advanced solar up, so let's go ahead and just drop that advanced solar in the back here. So something like this, and they should hopefully Oh, what is going on here? That is not where you guys should be going. Let's get you guys down the field. So we're at the 5-minute mark here. So advanced solar coming up very quickly. Now we're going to start eating all of our stuff. We need to go eat our commander as well. So let's make sure that we eat, and then commander, you can go to the back. Okay, so we're going to start off with... I think we might hand these out as well, just because we're kind of focused here. So we might... Actually, let's keep 5 for ourselves. So these are our 5. So I'm going to get rid of these guys from the auto control group and now just going to turn them into a normal one. And we're going to start off... I think we probably want to start off on this side. So let's go ahead and we'll start off down there. Then we'll make our way towards this frontal position as well. Okay, so far things are looking fine. We could arguably keep the commander because of the fact that we're doing rainbow. Maybe, you know, maybe it's probably a decent idea to do that, but you can see we're kind of stalling out here, and I want to go hard with this. That's the other thing to remember is I want to go very, very hard with this.
Friendly commander self-destructed.
All right, so we're going to aim. We got Cheese Man up here. He's OS 30. They're doing a little bit of a movement. So this is our unit. So we're going to hand off 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's also bring out a couple more
Low power.
Quakers. We need to get another... Let's put this down right here just for the moment. And then they'll all turn around and deal with that eventually. Okay, so 6 minutes of when we hit the front. So we're not the fastest. I'll say that right now. It definitely could be a bit faster. So these 5, we're going to hand over to Zynos. All right, so he was...
You are overflowing metal.
Overflowing metal. Interesting.
Friendly
Interesting.
commander destroyed.
Oh. Okay, so we're going to try and
Aircraft detected.
hold this position right here. We want to focus in on that commander, Mr. Cheeseman. We've got a number of units out here, so we're still making our way down here. Cheeseman's taken damage. He's decided to de-gun. We're going to try and pull back here away from these rocket bots.
Friendly commander destroyed.
So you can see we got out
Units
and
under
dodged.
attack.
Okay, so these Quakers are now going to come down over towards the front over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The whole team is
1,
wasting energy.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll do one more. So these ones are now going to come over towards Keanu Weebs. Okay, I feel like I don't know whether they've got... Like, we need vision. I don't know what is in radar and what's not in radar. Like, we've got radar, but they've obviously, like... Let's do a little bit of movement here, because, yeah, as you can see, the ticks are starting to come through now, and that scares me greatly. All right, we're being asked for cons, so let's do 1, 2, 3. We'll do 8. So we're going to move around here. We're kind of doing a little bit of a 2v1 here. We just want to make sure that we... Let's go down and potentially hit these units. We're overflowing quite a bit. Let's go top down instead. Which means we'll come out here to start. All right. We're having a look. We've got to be careful of those ticks. Next up, orange. Okay, oh, we got more mouses out here, as well as this one. Who do we want to hand it off to in this lane? Oh, and maybe we just give these over to Stiff Pickies. Let's just give them to Stiff Pickies, and then we'll go over to that lane. Air transport, air transport. Air.
Tech 2 unit.
It's got to be it's a Tsar. It's a Tsar. Let's get our own Tsar out shortly. Okay, Mr. Look, there you go, and then we'll give this over to air. So we want to come in on this angle and potentially look to attack down here. So that's the Tsar. So we've given over the Quakers. We just want to make sure that he sees those Quakers. Okay, Xenius is doing a good job in here. We could look to try and help. Keanu Weeb's also doing well. Let's keep pushing through. All right, do we have any T2s in here? No, we don't. Let's go and provide that. Has Stiff Pickies got his T2 yet? No, he doesn't. Let's help you out, Stiff Pickies. He's got a lot of metal in the bank, Stiff Pickies, if you want to help me out. Okay, so one of the bad things about not going bots is that you don't have a... well, you don't have Lazarus. But we got to be careful here. Push. I'm just going to say push. So we want to try and get in as much damage as we can on that army.
Enemy commander
Looking good so
destroyed.
far. We've got another T2 bot back here. We've got a second one, so let's hand that over. So we'll give it to Delta Star. And then we've got another one that's coming
Battle
out.
paused.
Someone's left the game. We've got a pause. Polar Express fought to the bitter end, so he's left the game. Who is that? Polar Express. I don't actually know who that is. What color is it? I can't even remember the color that's missing here, but as you can see, things are looking good. The Quakers still alive over on this front, together with the commander. Bro, Quakers be quaking. Dude, they do be quaking. I will say right now. I mean, this is just what happens, right? Like, you can see Blue's down here as well. You know, it's the guy that was doing it last game. And I said, hey, you want to do rainbow cons? We can do rainbow cons. But I tell you what, this is incredibly scary. And you can kind of see the power of it, right? Like, we're at 10 minutes here. We've got Quakers in every lane, just, you know, going ham. And you don't even have to ask for metal. That's the crazy thing about it, is you can just, like, you just play, basically. That's essentially it. You know, normally, so this one is not going to brown. I think it's going to the front here. I can't remember whether or not we've got that. So now what I'm going to do is something a little bit cheeky to get my economy online. I'm now going to put all of my advanced mexes down, and I'm going to grab my T1 constructor that they're all guarding, and I'm going to tell him, hey, go guard that T2 constructor. That's essentially what we're going to do here. Now, we're all still focusing down that commander. We could even look to try and push him. I think we can probably get the kill right here, so let's do it. He doesn't have a jammer, so yeah, he's almost certainly dead. Yeah, he's 100% dead, actually. He was trying to build a light laser turret. We got a little bit of... Oh, we should be able to get it. And if we can take one more commander out, that is lovely. Cheese man, you're going to be next. And you can see there's shurikens here. Shuri. We do need to be careful with those shurikens. But at the same time, oh god. Oh, don't you love Quakers? Quakers are so good as well just because they're quick. They're so fast. All right, so we've done a good job. Actually, we've got these to back us up. So we're going to be fine here. So I'm going to move over to the side. And then we're going to look to continue pushing down here. At the same time, let's keep moving you on. So they've all finished this for the moment. We've already made it down. Why is there a T2 lab there? I don't know why there's a T2 lab there. It looks like he wasn't doing rainbow cons this time. Guess he made a bit of a mistake not doing rainbow cons. So let's go back in. I want to take a look at the replay and just kind of break it down as well. Now, keep in mind that in the last game, they were doing rainbow cons. So I thought it was only fair that we do rainbow cons in this game. But this is the reason why the strategy is banned. It is absolutely brutal. All right, so let's get into it. So once again, for those playing along at home, the way that you counter this strategy is through the settings. So you basically want to come into any standard game that you're in, go into the advanced options, and scroll down to disable assist ally construction. And then that will prevent this from happening. It will also prevent things like happening, or prevent things from happening like if you've played on Supreme Isthmus. One of the most common things that you'll see players do on Isthmus, so like I'm just going to draw you a very basic Isthmus. So something like this, okay, is you'll be putting a T2 artillery down. So let's say like a Persecutor or something like that. And they will say, like, if you're at high OS, this is quite common. There'll be a commander that's over here and a commander that's over here, and someone else is building this, and they'll like ping, and they'll be like, hey, assist me. And then that gets the Persecutor up really, really quickly because you've got 3 players' resources on there. So in circumstances like that, I don't really have a huge problem with the whole concept of like assisting allies' construction. But when it comes to this is massively problematic, as we've clearly shown. And that's part of why this setting exists. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this setting sort of come on by default and that they changed the settings so that you would have the option to allow assisting ally construction, just because it can be so damn powerful. So let's take a look and see. I feel like we probably could shift our opening. Like, we probably don't need to do at the very beginning like the 5-mex walk, just because, you know, when it goes back to the whole idea of like a 5-mex walk or a 6-mex walk, why are we doing that? We're doing that because we want metal. Why do we want metal? Because we're playing tech, and tech needs more metal because they're making that T2 lab. But here, that argument doesn't really work because everybody's helping out. Everyone's contributing equally. And because of that, it definitely feels like we could probably just do like a 3-mex opening into 2 solars. And then after that, just go straight into the lab and then, you know, get out here, grab our mexes, and that's pretty much it. But I guess one of the good things about doing this is that you're using ally resources immediately, right? Like, everyone's contributing to this effective immediately. As soon as these constructors come out, they are all helping out straight away. And that's part of the reason why it's just so damn strong. So, of course, we're going to make our way down here. One of the key things, this is a curse tactic. You can see, yeah, he's typing in the chat. One of the key things to remember when you're doing this is you don't want the constructors to guard a lab, okay? Because that was my first thought was like, hey, I should guard the lab so that everyone's contributing to the lab equally. And then I was like, no, we should guard the constructor so that we've got flexibility. You can also guard a construction turret as well, but the lab just makes a little bit more sense. And you can see, despite the fact that they did it in the last game, they're not doing it here. And obviously, it's one of those things where it's like, if you do the strat, you win. And if you don't do the strat, you lose. But I'm kind of curious to measure and see, because we're both opening the same lab. You can see the difference on timing here as well. Like, we're already up at 440. We've already got units that are coming out. So we're going to hit the front line faster. Key to remember is we're going to hit the front line significantly faster. Is he doing... Oh my God, he's doing solar. Oh, bro, he's going solar. Dude, he's going solar off 3 construction turrets? I feel like you got to be doing a solar here. You got 1,350 metal locked up in solars that are producing only 180 energy. That could be like, if you look at advanced solar 370, like literally half the amount. Yeah, it's going to take you a little bit longer to get there, but you're already stalling out on metal. Like, the energy's not the issue. It's metal. I really should look into like a solar opening. I think there's a lot of potential there. He didn't take 7th mechs either. Not that we got donated a 7th mech. So shout out to my boy Zinnius. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So of course, you know, by the stage that this first lab is up, oh my God, and he's opening with constructors as well. Okay. Yeah, no wonder it's going to be a hard game. Oh no, yeah, I bet that's on the T2 lab. I guarantee you that's on... Oh no, it's on our T2 lab. Okay, yes, we're doing it. It's, yeah, okay. Let's check in. I feel like we were a bit slow with regard to our pacing on the front.
Commander,
I think maybe I've got to pick my fronts a little bit better when we go in and attack them. Normally, I like to reinforce the higher level lanes. Like, if there's a high OS player up against a low OS player, like over here you got 32 against 32, so it's fine. 26 against 28, kind of across like this, whereas here you got like the 27 against 31. So for me, it makes a bit more sense for him to be there, not to mention Darkstar also having problems with Cheeseman. So it kind of makes sense to reinforce this position, but at the same time, there's definitely an element of wanting to win more. So I mean, there's like this right here would be the perfect lane for me to push in from this side, because there's all these units already, right? So I guess that's probably what we should be looking at, is you know, a huge amount of units that we can kind of leverage as well. Okay, let's speed up a little bit. We don't want to be rolling in here the whole time. Meanwhile, back on the other side of the map. So it looks like we've had multiple T2s that have come out. So we've got the first one that's come out here. I don't know where the second one's gone. Has it gone maybe towards green? Just to help out? No, it hasn't been flown out. Maybe, how many does he have? If we can double click, is it just the one? He's just on the one and he's double tapped it. Okay. Is he asking for metal? Yeah, he's asking for metal. So that's the other thing to note, is like, where do you draw the line, right? Because I know a lot of people will look at this and say, this is absolutely disgusting. Why did you even bother posting a video about this? How could you possibly do this? Right? But you got to remember, this is a spectrum. It's not necessarily a yes or a no. Okay. Of course, there's like assisting ally building is a yes or a no, but the concept of like shared resources, right? Like, because if we were to look at his, what he's doing, right? He's getting sent resources. He's being donated resources here by allies. And is that different? Well, it's similar, and that's why I say it's a spectrum. You know, that game that I showed where we had those 250 OS players. We had Jagomo, excuse me for mispronouncing his name, and we had another 50 OS player in the back, and he literally just built his base for his ally, gave him the base, and sent the commander all the way to the front to go and hold the front. And it was just like, okay, where on the spectrum are we finally saying that this is acceptable? As I said, like the commander's assisting building a persecutor in the case where you've got, you know, you need a big defense. Is that acceptable? You know, at what point does it become acceptable? Because I think it's one of those things where, as I said in previous videos, this is something that beyond all reason, the devs are specifically going to have to work out, because I can appreciate people probably don't like this type of strategy. You know, I think most people will agree with that, like a little bit of sharing is absolutely fine, but when you get to this kind of level, I mean, is this a little bit of sharing? I guess it's only 3.2 metal a second. It's equivalent to like a 300 metal donation over 100 seconds. It's just that it's from everybody on the team. That's essentially it. But I mean, I know how you feel about it. I feel the same way. So yeah, that's as I said, I wanted to make a video about it just because I also, like, typically when I enter a lobby, right, like if we look at the lobby that we were just in, so we were in mid-glit just before, there's a whole bunch of settings that are turned on by default normally for higher player levels. So you've got no custom widgets, season 3 at the moment, balance testing, it's a ranked game, doesn't allow commands while paused, the order that you pick your spots is based on skill, it's not random, and then finally it's disable assist ally construction. Another one that I really like playing with is the shield rework 2.0. So this is quite nice. And I also like playing with Legion faction. So I feel like this is just another one of those things that we will probably be seeing quite a bit more turned on in even lower level lobbies, just simply because of how strong it is. Another thing to note is that when it happens, sometimes you won't actually get cooperation from everybody. So what does that mean? It means, like, let's say Stiff Bickies doesn't like the idea of it. He can take his constructor and he can just go and move his constructor down to his own base and just take that constructor. There's nothing stopping him from doing that. And because of that, it needs an extent of cooperation of just saying, okay, I'll let you do it. But I will say that apparently the guy who originally came up with this, his name, I can't remember, but I was told the whole lore behind it. He basically told people, this is what I'm doing, and if you remove your constructor from, assisting, I will leave the game. Which is obviously, like, griefing to the maximum, but also, respect the grinding right there. Like, that is, yeah, impressive. But anyway, look, in the end, I think there's a reason why a strategy like this is... well, there's a reason why there's settings that prevent a strategy like this, and well, I hope that we see that setting turned on a little bit more. You could see that immediately after that game, we immediately turned that setting back on, just because it's like, okay, yeah, that's a problem. Anyway, we're gonna leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed this game. A little bit more of a silly video for you today. Definitely not. Look, it's probably, I don't want to say it's a strategy guide. Please don't do this strategy, but at the same time, if you're gonna do it, yeah, there you go. We'll leave it there. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.